Hi, welcome back to my channel Skillset Go. So in the previous tutorials, we have seen how to use a retrofit library in Android to get the REST API responses. We have seen two kind of URLs and how to define an interface for them and how to define functions and how to get those responses and how to store those responses in the POSO classes. So in this tutorial, we will see how to pass a query parameters to the URL. So here we have seen a plain URL which doesn't take any parameter or any query parameters. Here we have seen a path query parameter. We will pass a specific ID in this URL. We can pass any ID. In this tutorial, we will see how to pass a query parameters. So here, as you can see, in this URL /comments post ID equal to 1. So post ID is a query parameter. So there is a difference between query parameter and the path parameter. As you hit this URL, let's see the response. So this URL, it will returns a list of these kind of objects. So it has a post ID which is 1. So as we are asking the post which is having 1, it will return all post ID 1, and it has ID, it has name, it has email, and it has body. And we will use the same URL to hit through Retrofit library instead of browser. So first, in order to save this response, we need to have the same kind of POSO class in our Android project. So presently we don't have a POSO class like this. Let's create a POSO class. So before, we have created a POSO class for previous URLs which is having user ID, ID, title, body, and now we will create a new POSO class. Let's name this as POSO. Let's see the response. Contains post ID, ID, name, email ID, body. Or let's name it as comments, as this URL contains comments. Let's name the POSO class as comments. It is just naming convention to understand. And let's define all variables which it contains in the response. Post ID, ID, name, email ID, body. Integer, post ID, ID, name, email, and body. As you can see here, post ID, ID, name, email, body. And let's have a getter and setter methods for this, for all. And let's have a toString method to print and see the response. So as we have created a POSO class, now we can create a method in interface which will map that URL. Let's mark this return type as list of comments. So as you can see in the response, it is a list of these kind of objects. Let's meet get comments. So we need to pass a post ID. So we need to pass a post ID here, integer post ID. So as we created a function, let's map this function to this URL, which is /comments. Yet get /comments. And here we have a query parameter. That one we need to map to this input. We have an annotation query in Retrofit 2 library, and name this query as post ID. As you can see this URL, the query name is post ID. And that's it. We have mapped this function to that URL successfully. And let's use this function in the main activity and see the response. Let's comment all this. And first, let's create a callback where we need to parse the response. Callback of list of comments. Let's make comments callback. So in this callback, we will implement on response and on failure. So what we need to do after getting the response and what we need to do after getting the on failure. And let's provide this callback to the service call. We have created a service instance using Retrofit and just call get comments. And this comments will take a post ID. Let's pass it as 1. And after getting response, where the response should be returned, comments callback. So after the response is available, response will come to this function. And let's print all the list of objects as before. So here we have printed a list. Let's copy the same line and paste there. So response.body will return a list of comments, and this list we are printing with using for each function. And let's execute this. So after executing this, we need to get the same response like this. So 1 2 3 4 5, we have 5 objects as response. Let's execute and see response. So it's getting installed. If it is on failure, let's print stack trace. In case if it is failure, we can see the stack trace. So as you can see, we have got a response and we are printing here. We have got 4 comments, ID1, ID2, ID3, ID4, ID5 with post ID 1 and email IDs and bodies. The same response we have got using a browser. So this is how we will provide a query parameters in Retrofit library to the REST APIs. I hope you understood this video on how to use a Retrofit library to hit a REST API servers. Please watch more videos for more tutorials of Retrofit, and please like, share and subscribe my channel and share to your friends, and thank you for watching.